Garrett,
Mm-hmm.
are you aware?
No.
No, well, I'm going to inform you that TNA
Right.
is under new management.
Oh, are they, Liam?
Well, you would know this if you watched the intro video for the first 3 episodes of this month, which is fantastic.
Yes, so it is the Are You Ready theme song by Macho Man Randy Savage, except every single clip is about Jeff Jarrett, except one, which is Don Callis.
Yes, which I really appreciate that Don gets one.
It's like 17 clips of Jeff and one of Don Callis.
My favorite little note is there's one line in the song that's like, "Are you ready for the X Division?" And in that time, it's Jeff doing a house show dive.
Yeah, doing a slingshot plancha, yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like that's like, "You ready for the X Division?" And it's Jeff doing a plancha on AJ.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I like that they did like the footage getting red and shaking when he lays out Hulk Hogan, as if he sent this man directly to hell.
He did, we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, he got sent to the Abyss Dimension.
He did. He's living there with James Mitchell's demon fodder.
Sure.
It's where Alexis Lurie is now.
She will return one day.
And I guess Punk and Julio after this month, they've been banished there too.
I wanna see James Mitchell's Hell Prison.
I imagine it would be quite an interesting hell prison. He's an interesting man.
I imagine it's very Hellraiser.
But probably like quite classy.
So not Hellraiser.
So, if you remember at the end of last month, Don Callis beat Eric Watts to gain full control of TNA. So we start...
How could you forget? It's one of the best matches in TNA history.
Liam's 4.25 star match. It's funny to read like newsletters being like burying that match. It's like it's two wrestlers who had no business going out there, sloppy wrestling, and Liam's like 4.25.
This match rocks.
But Jeff Jarrett and Don Callis are in full control of TNA, and as you mentioned, TNA is now under new management, including a giant banner over the entrance.
My favorite one, of course, during the interview section, they just stuck a big sticker over the TNA logo.
Yeah, big under new management. Don walks out with an under new management sign that he's just showing around.
And he's like, final appearance.
Even during that Are You Ready intro with Jeff Jarrett, there's like a big under new management label at the start of it.
It's perfect. Well, that's what really sells the next minute of Jeff Jarrett footage.
So Jeff Jarrett and Don Callis are in full control of TNA as we open the February 4th, 2004 NWA TNA pay-per-view number 80. They all come out to the ring. You have all the talent at ringside. All the people who opposed Jarrett are standing up on the ramp. All the people who are aligned with Jarrett are around ringside. JB introduces Jeff Jarrett, Don Callis, and Johnny Fairplay. Then Jarrett brings out Tom T. Stenenbaum in the flesh.
We finally see the man.
So the role of Tom T. Stenenbaum was played by, who was Jarrett's lawyer, was played by an old Memphis manager named Ernest Angel, who caused a lot of controversy more than 10 years ago when he did an evangelist gimmick on the circuit and used a loaded Bible as his forward object of choice.
That's so cool.
Rules! This should have been his character in TNA!
He would have been the perfect foil and or partner of James Mitchell.
Yeah, evil evangelist man with his loaded Bible joining the new church.
Yeah, he aligning with the devil.
He was apparently a real life evangelist, so he understood the gimmick.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, so he played the role of Tom T. Stenenbaum. Stenenbaum comes out and announces that the NWA board will be disbanding at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is the end of TNA, the end of that show that night.
As soon as he said that, it's like, that's foolish. You're going to give them so many opportunities to make mischief.
He does say that he was notified of this last weekend, but he held it off so he could deliver the news in person on pay-per-view. Tom, you fool! Wow. You've allowed them a window!
Boy, did they take advantage.
They sure used that window, but we'll get to that in a minute. He says that everybody under contract to TNA will have to do what Jarrett says or they will be fired because they will be in breach of their contract, which is their favorite slogan this month. That everyone's in breach of their contract.
Yeah, they all have Twitch accounts.
You shut down your Cameo.
Yeah, God, if it was 2022.
So Jarrett makes a bunch of demands. He says the Team TNA need to win the America's X Cup or Lynn will be fired. We'll get to the consequences of that in a moment. He books Kid Cash against Sonny Siaki, where if Siaki loses, he'll be fired because a loss will be a breach of his contract.
Which is kind of a great, recurring bit. You just be like, yeah, if you lose, you're in breach of contract.
Even Lynn, in one of his interviews on the America's X Cup show, is like, since when is a loss a breach of contract?
Since Jeff Jarrett got in charge.
He books Abyss versus El Leon, where El Leon will have to unmask if he loses to Abyss, which is very unfair because Abyss doesn't have to unmask if he loses to El Leon.
Are you saying that Jeff Jarrett is abusing his power?
No, he's not, because he books himself in an NWA World title match against a mystery opponent in the main event.
Ooh.
As a sign that he is a fair and decent leader.
And then somehow, in the time that he says this, Chris Harris is like, yeah, I know who your opponent is. He's like, wait, what?
For some reason, Chris Harris knows and Mike Tenay knows, but Jeff Jarrett doesn't.
I guess he sent out an open contract.
So to start our show running angle, or a month running angle, frankly, Chris Harris stands up to Jeff Jarrett. He's the one guy who grabs a microphone. He says he's sick of Jeff Jarrett. He's making this the Jeff Jarrett show. Jarrett then called Harris a mid-card tag team wrestler. We had a brief brawl between everybody, and that's the segment.
Neat.
So while James Storm is out injured, he has a bum shoulder, Chris Harris is getting himself a little singles push.
James Storm will not be outshone this month because he may have the best thing that is in this entire feud.
It's so good. We'll talk about this in the last show of the month. It's so good.
If you ever want to see James Storm channel RVD...
My favorite part of the segment was, in his last appearance, as you mentioned, this is the end of Don Callis until 2018 when he shows up as a color commentator. He's walking around with his under new management sign, and he points at the under new management sign and then starts pointing at himself to indicate that he is the new management.
And while Tom is talking, he slowly irks it out in front of him just so that everyone knows.
He leans it into the camera shot.
It's like if you ever have a job and you're quitting it and you're on your last day there, so you just kind of fuck around all day. This is what this was.